Alabama and Kalen DeBoer have hired Ryan Grubb as their offensive coordinator. Now, Ryan Grubb obviously coached with Kalen DeBoer at Washington and Fresno, and they've coached for a long time together. Ryan Grubb last season was the offensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks, and they fired Ryan Grubb after the season after 1 year, which I thought was kind of an interesting development. But, Sean, I got to get your thoughts on this hire. Do you think Grubb can help that offense with Alabama now that Jalen Milroe's probably gone? They can probably run a little bit more traditionally what DeBoer and Grubb would want. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's a great fit. For those who've never been in the coaching profession, the money at some point stops mattering. Mm-hmm. Now, when you're on your grind, when you're in there, I'm a GA or I'm an assistant to the assistant coach or I'm a position coach. I've never been a coordinator. Like, when you're in that rat race, money's everything. But when you're Ryan Grubb and you were with Kalen at Washington making multi-million dollars a year as a coordinator. Then you got the Seahawks deal, multi-million dollars. Now it starts to really be about quality of life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not where am I going to work at, but who am I going to work with? Who's going to make this profession fun and bearable?
Right, and, absolutely.
Reuniting with DeBoer, obviously they're like-minded. They think alike in how they approach the offensive side of football, and they've had a lot of success grooming Michael Penix. So it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what? At this point in his career, DeBoer need some loyal, friendly faces in that building down there, too. They're not too happy down there in Tuscaloosa now.
Oh, no, not after missing the playoff and getting whooped by Michigan in the bowl game. Absolutely. And sticking on this Alabama train a little bit, obviously we saw Jalen Milroe, run the DeBoer offense last season. Some would argue that it was not as good as you would want. And they obviously, in the bowl game struggled. But I got to ask you, going into this season, Alabama seems to have a three-way quarterback battle. Obviously, you got five-star quarterback Keelan Russell, who says, what jumps to me is the fact they want me to come here and be the starting quarterback, so he's ready to compete. They also have Austin Mack, a kid who was at Washington with DeBoer and transferred down to Bama. Didn't see him at all last season. And then you got another kid as well, Ty Simpson, who's at Bama as well. But three-way quarterback battle, Sean, how do you see this playing out? I know I'm asking it early, but
is the high school kid an early enrollee? Is he on campus yet?
Give me 1 second, I'll tell you.
And the reason I ask, if he's on campus, then spring will be a legitimate organic three-way quarterback competition.
Early enrollee.
If he's not on campus, then I would favor the kid.
Yes, Keelan Russell's joined class early. Well, he signed with them early. Let me see if he's an early enrollee. That's misleading ass headline. But I got to ask you, with these three quarterbacks, you would expect them to pick the quarterback that's able to run DeBoer's system correctly and not go with, no offense to Milroe, but we could see that he's not a Michael Penix in that system, no?
But Milroe was the best option for last year.
That's a good.
No matter who the head coach at Alabama was, Jalen Milroe was going to be the starting quarterback.
No, I agree.
He had done enough up to that point. Beginning of the year, he was top three, I think, odds on for the Heisman. So it's not like they inherited a guy that hadn't had a lot of success. This will be an organic competition. One thing about college, spring practice is still spring practice. Now, the spring game has been diminished, but you get to get after it a little bit in spring practice and really see what you got. So the cream will rise to the crop. I would give the kid, I've never seen Keelan Russell throw a football. So let me qualify this.
Okay.
But just based on experience in the system, I would give the kid they brought with them from Washington a slight advantage.
Austin Mack. Yeah, that makes sense. He's been with DeBoer. He transferred there. Russell, I believe, is early enrolling, according to a Twitter source.
So he'll have a fair shot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But Mack has seen Penix run the system and Milroe run the system.
Right.
So that's a lot of experience that he's gotten, seeing other guys succeed and fail. So just from that standpoint alone, if he's talented, if he can play, he does have an advantage over Russell. I think Ty Simpson is just there for depth.
Yeah, that's a good point. I got to ask you, looking at this Alabama team, I remember you came on JB's show a few months ago or probably a few weeks ago and called out your dark horse in the SEC, South Carolina. Now, couple teams that come to bat to me in mind of SEC looking into next season. Tennessee, obviously South Carolina. I think Vanderbilt's going to be somebody that'll surprise some people. But let me ask you about Alabama. What do you expect to see out of Alabama headed into the SEC play next season? What do you expect?
Well, DeBoer's a good coach. So as long as they have a good coach there, they've got everything else they need. They're going to be a good program. I just think they have to get used. Same adjustment they're going to have to make in Athens. Same adjustment I think they're going to have to make in Ann Arbor with this new landscape, NIL transfer portal, unless you're going to do what Ohio State did, which is go out and spend more money than everybody and buy the best possible roster, then there's going to be a little more variance at the top of this year in and year out than there was before.
Yeah, that's a good point. And if you had to pick a winner, is South Carolina your winner?
I'm not even going to delve into that until we get to the fall. Just because, like, there's going to be a whole nother wave of transfers after
There's
spring
so much
football.
movement.
Right. Yeah. So, like, I'm going to wait.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm with you on that. There's going to be – we're going to discuss a lot of portal news in the next 6 months because this is the wild west.
I'm not discussing none of it. I'm just wait till it's all over.
Yeah, exactly. Stay out of it.
Get my little vision board together and find out who's where and start trying to piece this thing together.
No doubt.